Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Marilys E, and I'm back with another review. Let's get it. Okay, so this review is on the Braxton's episode from last Thursday. Okay, um, like I tell y'all, sometimes I'm a little late with them, but I will always try to do it before the next episode comes out. Like for instance, today's Tuesday, so the next episode comes out Thursday, so I'll try my best to get them out before the next episode comes out. That way I'm not doing too much and y'all not missing stuff and having to catch up and all the extra stuff. But anyway, this episode, it was titled Life Goes On. Okay, I have a few notes here. So child, we shouldn't be on here all day. We gonna see how that goes though. But anyway, so in the beginning of the episode, how it started out with, with them, I think it was Tawanda and, no, it was Trina talking to the mom and Tony talking to her dad. I like the fact that it started out with them FaceTiming their parents, because the pandemic had just popped off. And like I say, that kind of stuff warms my heart because it just makes me think about, when it all started happening, we were all concerned. We were all like, okay, oh my God, my mom and my sisters, like, what's, especially if you live away. So yeah, that was sweet because I know a lot of grown children, I'm 37, almost 40, but, we be concerned about our parents. So again, seeing those things really, really warmed a sister's heart. Okay, I loved it. So, oh gosh, so when Mr. Braxton was talking to Tawanda, I'm gonna need somebody to tell this man to stop bringing up his singing skills or lack thereof. I'm sitting here like, this is why that mess happened in the first place, and I chuckled when I was watching it. Like, you done passed the mic to Tracy and whatnot. Like, had you sat down and not volunteered yourself to sing, none of this would have happened. Everybody would be A-okay. Well, not so much, but that particular thing wouldn't have went down. You know what I'm saying? Even when he said it, something about his singing, Tawanda's face was just like, I can't. So yeah, Mr. Braxton, we gonna need you to stick to preaching, pimping, or whatever. I'm not even trying to be funny, but whatever you do, stick to that. Lead us singing to those sisters. Okay? Please and thank you. The scene when Tony was in the dang studio, y'all. Like I said, when she was doing that video, like 2 or 3 episodes back, look, that would have been me. Excuse me, Paul, or whatever the man name was. Let me wipe this stuff down real quick. I don't know who been in here singing, humming and spitting on this mic. Hold on. Telling y'all ain't nobody playing with COVID. So yes, I was chuckling by that too. Like, Tony, wipe it down, sis. Spray it if you can without messing it up or whatever. But that stuff would have been wiped down. You hear me? We're not playing with COVID. We're not. Okay, so when Sean, who I said this in a couple reviews back, I'm not gonna say I do not like Sean, but it's just something about him that's just like, maybe I don't like him. Let me process that and let y'all know in another review. But it's just something just slick, weird about him to me. But again, we're gonna continue to watch and let it be revealed, if that is the case. Because I could be tripping. Might be. But anyway, when he was talking to Mr. Braxton, or Dr. Braxton, as he calls him, and he asked him, he said, what's the secret to keeping a Braxton woman happy? Now, I was looking like, why would you ask him that? Like, do you remember the story, the thing that happened between him and Miss E? A better question to me would have been, how can I keep Tawanda happy? Or just not even ask the daddy at all, because at the end of the day, he's not the one with her. And clearly, the Braxton he was with, he wasn't making her happy. So, bruh, you asked the wrong one. Like, you've been with Tawanda intimately. Let's be clear. Quarantine, you would think y'all getting closer. Ask her. Or figure it out. You about to get married. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what you preparing for. So, to ask her dad, I mean, I get that's the typical thing a son might do. Oh, well, what do you think, any advice moving along with your daughter or whatever? But child, half these freaking fathers don't even really know their daughters or children, period, like that. So yeah, that I just think he could have either again kept the question completely, or like I said, just figure it out, Sean. You're a grown man. Again, this is a woman that you're seemingly in love with and want to be with. So you can figure that out. Figure that out, because Dr. Braxton was the wrong one to ask. Again, just my opinion. That's how I feel. Okay, so I was here for the fact that Tawanda wasn't trying to pressure Tracy as far as, talking about what happened at the wedding. But my thing was, why could she not have kept that same energy when it came to those damn crab legs? Like, I'm saying, like, did not Tracy say on the FaceTime, on the last episode or the one before that, I don't remember, but y'all remember the episode when Tracy was in that yard watering those flowers and grass, and Tawanda FaceTime her. Didn't she say that she wasn't feeling the crab? She was, about to get gout and some more stuff. Like, sis, if you're on a special diet and you're coming to someone's house and they don't eat like that, Tracy ain't on that. Bring your own stuff. Bring your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put that on her because you eating Sebastian every day and crab foot and whatever else. She said what she said on the FaceTime. Like, and my thing is, I get you want to eat. Let's be clear. I love to eat too. It don't look like it, but that's fine. Everybody ain't meant to be a size whatever, But y'all you couldn't have brought up nothing else. Like, this is the first thing, like, talking about some crab legs. Like, let it go, sis. Like, she told you what it was. And this may be something I may be thinking too deep into. Like, ringing the doorbell all crazy until she came to the door. It's just, and I'm only saying this considering the tension from before. Like, you don't know what kind of mood Tracy was in. What if that was going to annoy her? You ringing that darn doorbell like that. Like, I just don't think Tawanda was thinking. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what else? So yeah, the crab leg thing, that just threw me, child. I just don't understand. It's like, okay, for one, whose house are you coming to? Are you gonna cash at me for these crabs? Are you gonna help me make these crabs? And again, did you not hear what I said on the FaceTime about me not wanting to make this junk? Like, let it go. Bring your own food. And when Tracy said that was a prime example of, like, the boundaries, I felt it. And I said in another video, I can't stand, like, when you say something and people try to change your mind or say stuff like, oh my God, you're not going to do ... you're not going to... I said what I said. Now drop it. Release it, let it go. Drop it. Like, I felt that 1,000%. And when she said, she as in Tracy, when she said that she was no longer going to hold her voice and keep silent, that she was giving her opinion to her sisters, and, allowing her needs to be met and being more vocal, I felt that too. Because it's like, you can love your siblings, your sisters and all that stuff, but I know how, I have sisters too, and I know how opinionated and judgmental some sisters can be. And some tend to overstep their boundaries and give unwarranted advice and some more stuff. And even a lot of times, some of them will say things to you that, the saying, you can dish it, but you can't take it. That's a lot that goes on in my family. I'm not going to sit up here in front like I ain't no Brady Bunch, boo. You know what I'm saying? But stuff like that goes on in my family, so I get that. So when she said that she was going to start speaking up, and if something don't sit well, she was going to start saying what she felt, and if they liked it, oh well, if they didn't, whatever, I was with it. And I'm glad that she is finally getting to a place where she is setting boundaries, and not only setting them, but making Negroes adhere to them. I'm not going to say the other word as to not be disrespectful or offend nobody, but don't just set them, make the folks adhere to them, respect them. And if you don't, like I said in another video, You can peace out. You can peace out. You know? But yeah, at the end of the day, you can love your family because hell, I love mine. But you best believe that there are boundaries in place. And I'm going to speak the hell up if someone crosses them or disrespects them or whatever. I'm going to say something. Real talk. Let's see. Oh, so when Tracy was on the FaceTime with her therapist and she said she was content in her happiness and she didn't want to have it trampled on or whatever, I understood that too, because again, family can be a hot mess. And some, like I said, they think they can say anything without consequences, and that's just not the case. You know, so again, the fact that she's starting to put that foot down, we with that. Like, real talk. Let's see. When she arrived at the house, which that was a cute little rental house, by the way. But when she arrived, I love the fact that she went and she arrived in amazingly good spirits. But what I see, this is what I don't like. The comments about Tawanda. Like, she just kept poking and saying stuff and using sarcasm to like cover it up, like you laughing and joking about it as if that's gonna make the person feel better. Like when she's like, I'm glad you and your boundaries could make it. What the hell was the point of that comment? Again, and you could say, now granted she didn't say it in no nasty way, I'm glad you and your boundaries could make it. But again, people try to, and I feel it and I see it all the time, people try to use sarcasm and had Tracy said something, it would have been I was just playing, oh my God. But let it go. You bought the crap up at the table when y'all was in Maryland, sitting there talking about the boundaries and I'm glad about you and your boundaries. You like, why do you keep bringing it up? She said what she said, let it go. Like, stop. I don't think Tawanda be thinking, or either it's just that they just so used to doing that crap to each other. It's like, sis, I'm glad you and your boundaries can make it. Shut up. But I'm glad Tracy took it well. But y'all just notice little stuff like that, and it's just like highly unwarranted and completely unnecessary. You could have kept that comment. Hey, it's good to see you, sis. Oh my God, I missed your face. Mwah. You couldn't say something like that? Silly to me. Very, very, very silly to me. Because like I said, had Tracy like reacted or said something like, why you keep bringing up the boundaries or whatever, Tawanda would have, I was just joking. Shut up. Stop bringing it up. That junk irked me. Jesus. But anyway, moving along to the next note. I know Tony has health issues. Look, I get it. I don't have lupus. I don't have no chronic, illnesses, nothing like that. But I understand. But I'm like, sis, you could have told him ahead of time that you were not going to be there when they got there. Like, come on now, Tony. Let's see. Oh, the fact that she had the chef come. For one, that food looked amazing, okay? And if that was me, I would have, sis, that would have made my whole week. You get here when you get here. You done sent this good old chef out here. We are good. Come when you come. As long as I eat, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, that was everything. The fact that it had Tony at the table and she wasn't really at the table, that reminded me of the episode of the Housewives. Where were they at? Atlanta. They were somewhere, and I think they put Kim's wig on the table. She wasn't there. Child, I forgot what trip they went on, but my reality TV show lovers, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're crazy. Let's see. So I've spoken about this before, how a lot of women don't feel complete if they're not married. So when Trina asked Tawanda, when she was like, well, have y'all set a date? Which, that was a very valid question. Like, a very valid question. And might I add that Trina has become, or is becoming, my favorite sister. But I'll talk about that later. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But again, very valid question. But my thing is, why don't we as women and sisters start asking questions like, sis, are you happy? Like, are you truly happy? Nobody has to come to you and say, oh, he's controlling, or, I don't like when he does this or whatever. They could be smiling and laughing and playing like hell. Tamar and Vince used to do it all the time, and we saw the hell that was popping off behind they closed doors. So I'm like, start asking questions like, okay, y'all been together for some months. That's cute, but sis, are you happy? You know what I'm saying? Like let's figure this out first, and then I'll ask you stuff about just setting a date and is whatever else. Like, but I just really feel like we as women we miss a lot of stuff because we are concerned about other stuff. Like, child, if Tawanda was getting abused, God forbid, they wouldn't even notice because everybody's just so worried about, oh, when you gonna get married? Oh my God, oh my God. I get it, I'm a woman too, but is it that deep? Like, I don't know. Some women, and I'm not being funny, I just see it so much. Like, some women act like they gonna die. I mean, literally croak if they don't have a man or if they're not married. Like, sis, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not that deep to me. Nope. Do your thing if you desire, by all means. It's nothing even wrong with that. But like I said, when it comes to the point where, again, you're negating all this other stuff to ask, oh, when you get married, sis, it's not that deep. Like, love yourself first. And that's another thing I see. A lot of women, you don't even love yourself, but you want this man to come along and love you and give you all the stuff and the healing that you need. No, do that junk before he gets there. Then think about getting married. Like, getting married does not complete you, and you shouldn't feel like it completes you. You should already be complete when the man comes along. But I don't know. Okay. So the speech that Miss Evelyn gave about, food bringing a family together and, they forgetting about their problems once they partake of a good meal. I get that. I get it, but forget that. Like, at the end of the day, we're going to eat this meal and we're going to solve these problems. Bon appetit. Let's eat. But again, we're going to get this good therapy on too. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly just eating alone ain't been working. So again, let's eat, resolve, so we can evolve and live our best lives. Period. Food is good, but healing is better. Okay, so I'm not gonna get into the conversation that Tracy and Trina were having outside, and when they went outside towards the end of the episode, because y'all saw it, y'all heard what they was talking about. But I will say that I love the fact, I love women like Trina, women who can, who have the ability to see both sides of things without judgment and without giving unwarranted behind opinions. They're blood sisters, and real talk. And some would think that, Tracy got 4 sisters, and some would probably think that she would be able to talk to all of those sisters about some of everything. But I'm a living witness. I have 2 sisters as well, but that's not always the case. I can't talk to my sisters about everything, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I have women who are not blood, who are closer to me than my own sisters because we can't talk about everything. Grew up in the same house, but we had completely different experiences. Our mindsets are different. Like, I can go on, but that's not what this video is about. But again, the fact that Tracy has at least one sister out of the 4 that she can go to and talk to about certain stuff and, have that safe place, that warms my heart. I love stuff like that. Because again, like I said, some people have to seek sisterhoods outside of blood sisters, and that's okay. Because the cookie don't always crumble the way we want it to. So, yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was a good conversation. Trina listened, again, without judgment. She heard her out until the end, and I just really feel like if more of the sisters were like that, or even more women, period, it'll be so much less drama and hating, and, I don't feel like I can talk to her because this, like, come on. Let's see. Oh, so when Tracy was talking about the stuff that happened at the wedding, I will say that I must say, because it's clear that Tracy and Olivia must really, really be close, because not one time during, when she was speaking about the accounts of the wedding, what happened at night, not one time did she mention that Olivia told her they were laughing at her. I believe it was more than just the faces they were making, because I think she had her back kind of like turned to them. So it's like, how did you even see that? But I don't know. I was not there. I don't know how they edited that stuff. I don't know. But the bottom line is, and I said it before, Olivia should have kept her mouth shut, and her daddy should not have given her that mic, and all of that crap really could have been avoided. Yeah. So, okay, so when Tracy was talking and she said her mom came back there pointing a finger at her saying it was all her fault, it's all your fault, all your fault, all I could say was, wow. Like, real talk. It's nothing like a mother who doesn't have your back against whether it's other siblings or even like the father. You know what I'm saying? I know mothers who would sit there and let their fathers verbally abuse the children, say any and everything, like, and not say a word. We have cases of women being raped and molested, telling their moms, and the moms don't say nothing because they don't want to lose the man they with. Like, stuff like that. And I didn't mean to go that deep, but it just makes me wonder. Like, I think it's some bull crap how if it went down like that, and Tracy ain't got no reason to lie, but I think it's horrible. But I'm like, it makes me wonder if deep down Miss Evelyn is holding some kind of grudge or whatever against Tracy because of how close she and her father are. After what happened with the whole Miss Wanda situation or whatever. It may not be the case. I may be completely far-fetched in that notion or thought, but it crossed my mind. I just really think it's messed up how she came for her. Like, again, if I was not back there, y'all saw the same thing I saw, but when she was talking about that, I was just like, wow, that's messed up. Like, I can only imagine, like, the little girl inside of her was probably crushed. And she even said, like, she felt like, she was like 10 or 12 again, but she had to freaking defend herself. And stuff like that probably been going on for years and years. And, child, like I said, I'm not going to keep talking about black families, because I'm sure it's white ones out there too. But again, I can speak for black families because I was raised in one. And I know a lot of this stuff is very similar. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing on the Braxtons is not surprising to me because, again, a lot of black families deal with the same kind of crap. We just not on reality TV. You know what I'm saying? For the whole world to see what's going on behind closed doors. Let's see. So Tracy said her mom has a different relationship with her than she has with her sisters, and I understand that. Let's see. Oh, and like a lot of times when you say stuff like that, certain family members, toxic family members, let's be clear, they'll try to make you feel bad or crazy or say, oh, that's not the case. But at the end of the day, let's be clear. A person can feel when stuff is different with them, than it is with others. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. People not stupid. Tracy's not stupid. Like I said before, like, I was tripping because she needed to let go of the stuff that happened with the record deal. And I still stand on that. Sis, it was years ago. You got to let that go. But this stuff here that she's been talking about, like this episode and last episode, like, I've been feeling her 1,000%. Oh yeah, so she said, that her mom has different relationship, and I'm gonna tell you how toxicity works in black families. I'm just gonna say, whatever. But say for instance, and this is so toxic, but say for instance, you have a toxic parent, and you say to that parent, toxic, narcissistic parent or whatever, and you say to that parent that you feel like, they favor another child over you. A toxic parent, instead of them saying something like, oh, well, why do you feel that way? I hate for you to feel that way. what can I do to like fix it? Like what did I do to make you think that or say that? Instead of doing that, what a toxic parent will say, they'll say something like, oh, well, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people. Y'all two different kids. Like, blah, blah, blah. Why you comparing yourself to her? You not her. You like, instead of owning what the child is saying or how the child feels, you know, they would prefer to invalidate the child's feelings or make the child feel bad for feeling how they feel. That's a toxic parent. Toxic parents don't own up to their shit. They don't. And I'm telling you what I know. And I know because I've been there on period. But yeah, toxic parents, they just don't. You know what I'm saying? But again, and that's why a lot of times, I'm gonna be real, y'all. A lot of times I be thinking about stuff like that, like, wow, I would be a dope ass mom. I don't know what God gonna do in that regard because I'm 37, but we gonna see. But it's just like stuff that I grew up. Again, this is not to say my childhood was bad. Let me make that clear. But as a 37-year-old woman, I can look back and say, I dealt with some damn trauma. You know, daddy's a pastor, mama first lady, but it wasn't peaches and cream in those houses at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I just be thinking like, wow, if I had a child, I would never do ... or I would never make them feel like ... because that stuff plays a major part. This is why you got, again, so many grown people having to heal from trauma. It's people who they didn't even realize they dealt with trauma till they got 35 and 40. Like, child, I don't know. But yeah, Tracy, she probably been dealing with that stuff since childhood. Like, I already know. And again, because I know black families. I'm in one myself. So I get it. So yeah, it's just, to me, it's just good to have a voice and be able to recognize those things, you know, once you get older, because that's how you heal. That's how you heal. If I wasn't privy to it, or if I was still in that broken place, I would have never known how certain stuff affected me. And I'll get into some stuff later, and it's not to expose anything, but at the end of the day, people will make you feel bad for saying, oh, why are you trying to shame the family? No, I'm not. I'm exposing stuff to help other people who may be dealing with the same thing and don't know what to do. This is why I do what I do, you know? But yeah. So, and then when she was talking about how not only was it Mama Evelyn coming back there talking about, oh, it's your fault, it's Tracy, she said Tamar and Tawana was doing the same thing. And that made me think there's always going to be at least one sibling who is either just like the toxic ass parent or who takes up for the toxic stuff that that parent does. I'm telling y'all. So anybody who's dealing with that, just know it's not your fault. You got to own your part now, you know, because we all play a part. You know, it's not always the other person. So own your part, take accountability for your part, but recognize the trauma. Don't deny that it happened, and you will be better able to heal from the trauma. I'm telling you, generational trauma is it's an MF. Like, I'm not even gonna say what I could say, but it's an MF. I'm telling you, if you don't heal that stuff, if you have kids, you will pass the poison down to your kids. And I'm telling y'all, I've had multiple miscarriages, and I talked about this in another video. Y'all know I don't mind being transparent, but I was mad at God at one point. Like, you gonna take my babies? Like, I was pissed. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But when I think about it, it's like, if I had had those children back then, whether they were boys, girls, or whatever the gender would have been, I would have passed down a whole lot of poison. Now, granted, I would have been the best mom I knew to be, but I wasn't healed from childhood trauma then, generational trauma and all that crap then. So ain't no telling what I would have passed down to my child. You know, and that's the last thing I would have wanted to do. So even though, you know, some stuff happens that's out of our plan, you know, be like, okay, God, really? That's really how you feeling? When you look back, once time has passed, a lot of times it's like, your thoughts are not like my thoughts, your ways are not like my ways, but I kind of get why you did what you did, so thank you. He's a big guy. He know what he be doing, but at the time, we don't always see it. But that, too, is another video for a whole nother day. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got for now. Until next time, love and light, be great.